Okay, we're here in Quebec City, less than 24 hours before the start of the Grand Prix Cyclist de Quebec, the first of the two ProTour races here. Talking with Svein Tuft, one of the Canadians who's in the race with Garmin-Transitions. Svein, you had a chance to ride the course today. I know you've ridden here before in Tour de Beauce and I think Nationals, but it's a little bit different from what's been like in the past.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely added a lot more on the city section of the course, and it seems like a bit more recovery maybe on the climb, but it's more technical, and I think, you know, with the long false flat drag up to the finish area there, it's still going to be very difficult on that last bit. But I think you know, it's almost like a criterium in the old city for parts of the course, and then obviously the add-ons at the park changes the whole descent. You know, back in the day, you used to go straight down the main drag, and that's where a lot of breakaways happen. And it seems that it could be a similar story through the park because of some of the false flat drags and that. So I think, you know, it could be one of these courses that could be a real epic. If it's raced really hard, it could be a real, you know, small group coming down to the finish.
Yeah, because it's probably a third longer than it ever used to be when you did it in Beauce.
Right.
So
yeah,
you know,
it's always like 150 or 100.
Yeah,
120K.
120K, and now it's considerably longer than that. Like it used to be like 10 laps or something, and now it's 15.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think you'll feel the pinch the last three or four laps here.
Now, what if it rains? Because I mean, we always had rain earlier in the week. Today it's been okay, but that rain should make a big difference, I would think.
I haven't raced in anything else but rain this year, so I really don't mind. I've gotten over the point of even being upset when it rains. So, yeah, but you're right. I mean, some of the corners here, like the off-camber corner through the park at the bottom at the gates before you come back on the main drag there, it could be pretty wild, you know, because you come ripping straight down that thing, and you know, we did it this morning in the wet, and it was off-camber and a little sketchy, but that's racing.
Now, for your team, I mean, I was looking at the team, and of course, you know, there's Ryder. You know, he's coming off a fantastic tour and so on. But you're coming off a real good ride at Tour of Eneco as well. So, I mean, has there been any discussion about, you know, who the team's supporting, what the plan is?
I think that becomes pretty clear in a race like this. We all kind of know our spots in this team, and yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good coming off of the last month of racing in Europe, and you know, a course like this sorts things out, and I think, you know, guys have a pretty good idea where their form is. You know, we also have Danny Pate and Pete Stetina and our two Dutch guys, you know, the classic style riders. So, I mean, I think we'll see, you know, as the course comes down. But we kind of have our selected guys that will definitely be, you know, more protected. But you'll really see on a course like this that it tends to race itself. And there's no, you know, riding on the front or this, that, and the other. On these kinds of courses, you just let the racing take over, and you know, you got to just keep fighting for position. So, you know, as long as we're staying together and as a unit, we're going to see who has the legs, and you know, who's going to probably sell out and do some hard work towards the end for some guys.
Okay, so there's been no talk about, well, we got two races in a row. This one's got that sort of shorter, steeper, punchy climb. Mount Royal is a long climb, so there's been no talk about, okay, you know, we're gonna, you know, use these guys hard for this race, and then for Montreal we're gonna use some other guys.
For sure. During our meeting tonight, we're probably going to sort out a lot more technical things like that, you know. But as it stands right now, you know, we won't. I don't really know the full plan as of yet, but tonight we'll probably talk about it. Guys are going to have, you know, an idea of, you know, like you said, who has better form on a course like this, and you know, who's better suited to Montreal. Maybe save some legs. So we'll see.
Okay. Now for you, it's been obviously a much better year than last year, when you had a crash in Tour of California and then it, like, struggled through the season.
Yeah.
I mean, and as we just talked about, I mean, you got some great form. You had a great result at Tour of Eneco, you know, leading for a while and finishing 5th. You know, how are things going now? Because I know we talked after Nationals, you were getting ready to go a big training block.
Yeah. No, for me, it's like I feel like I'm where I should be, and it's taken a while to kind of battle my way up to that level again. But it's a nice feeling to just be like, yeah, it's where I always thought, you know, like physically and mentally I should be. And Denmark really proved that for me coming back. You know, after we last spoke, I did some good training and racing in Canada, the Super Week, and it was kind of like the perfect mix to just keep you in shape, but also really sharp with the racing and that, because there's some hard courses up there. That allowed me to just come in fresh to the European block that I had set up coming back, and Denmark really kind of settled it for me that, you know, you can, in these smaller stage races, like the shorter kind of 8 to 10 day stage races, you can really be effective, and with a good time trial or prologue in there, it could be very good. So I had a good mindset, and coming into, like, after Vattenfall, we we slayed ourselves on the front for Tyler, and he like backed everything up, so that was a great day. The break had 18 minutes, and I've never ridden so hard in my life, but it's one of those things, you know, it worked out, and that was a great day. But I was a little worried because I was so smashed before Eneco from that day, and then going into prologue, I was just totally surprised myself. So it was a very good block of racing, but like I said, it's where I think I should be, and I'm just excited to be back at that.
Yeah, because I mean, you're leading up to, I mean, you know, obviously we got to think about 2008. You know, you got a solid block in, you went to the Olympics, you got obviously a good ride then, and then you took it up another level for Worlds. You're sort of feeling you're somewhat on the same sort of, you know, movement in terms of moving up the same way?
Yeah, for sure. And it's always funny because it's that during that same feeling, you almost feel like you're on the edge too. You know, like you have days where you go out and you're like, I don't know if I can do this, you know, like you really question yourself. But I remember that was the same for me in 08. Because you've done so much hard work and so much hard training, physically you're always there, you know, like, but it's like all mental what happens upstairs, and it's very easy. Like this time of the year I find is you can go either way. So it's about staying on track and staying really like focused on your plan. And that's hard to do. So that's why I'm glad, like, you come to a race like this and it kind of gets you back into that mode again, and it's like the perfect kind of halfway point for me between here and Worlds and Commonwealths.
So how important is it doing these races in Canada? I mean, you've been doing some big races. You know, you've been, you know, doing ProTour races all year. Now to come back and race in Canada, like, is on a course where you've raced before in smaller races. How big a deal is it to be able to come back here and race?
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, you know, it's like you said, in Europe, you get used to the level that it is. Like when you go to Belgium and Holland, like the starts, it's just crazy. People coming from everywhere to see this race, and you can barely make your way to the sign-in start, you know. And you know, the whole course on a 200K, you know, like a Vattenfall, is just lined with people, and that's, you know, that's not a circuit race. That's, I mean, people driving from all over to come and see the race just for a short while go by. So to see that kind of enthusiasm here and be a part of it and be Canadian, I think, you know, that's pretty cool. And I think we have a good team, and we'll have a good showing here. So I think it's a special moment, and I hope this kind of momentum carries on in Canada, because we need that. And it's great to see, you know, like our national team get that chance and have those guys, you know, like there's a bunch of really good guys on there, you know, and for them to get that exposure to this style of racing, you know, it's a really good step.
Okay. Now I have to ask, and I know you're still in this season, but it looks like you're moving to another team next year.
Yeah, right now I can't really comment on that. I'm still with Garmin-Transitions, and I'm focusing on what I'm doing for the rest of the year, and I'm very happy with them. So I'm gonna, you know, do my job here, and I'll you know, let you know in the future what my plans will be.
Okay. Well, good luck tomorrow and Sunday.
All right. Thanks.